Hi, this is Jenna Apgar, and I am back with Jeff Klien, speaker and trainer at the Speaker Co-op. And today we're going to talk about 30 seconds to success, generating referrals with your elevator pitch for when you're stuck in the elevator with Warren Buffett or at one of those meetup networking BNI type groups. Today, we're talking to an award-winning messaging expert, by the way, Mr. Jeff Klien over here, who teaches a proven technique to help business professionals and salespeople generate referrals from their 30-second networking commercials. We've already heard and spoke with, we will be talking with also Jeff Weaver, who's given him an outstanding, said he's been using Jeff Klien's stuff for years. And so today I'd like to hand it over, there's my calls interrupting me, hand it over to Jeff because he's been telling the world and other people what to do for 30 years, and he's going to tell you what to do over the next hour. How are you today, Jeff?
I'm great, Jenna. Hi. Actually, it's telling people, I tell other people what to do. And I also tell other people's stories in ways that actually sound better than when they tell them themselves.
Outstanding.
So that's part of how things work out. So there's actually two kinds of elevator pitches. I'll throw that out first, because there is the elevator pitch where you're actually in an elevator. And the purpose of that elevator pitch, you have one purpose with that elevator pitch, and that's to be interesting enough to get that person's business card before one of you gets off the elevator. So if you're in an elevator with Warren Buffett, you want to have something compelling to say so that you can get his personal email address and then reach out. So there's that.
It's a funny story about Warren Buffett. I have a friend who trains other agencies, and he got asked to pitch a company on doing some, I think, website or marketing work. And he came in there with no slides, no handouts, nothing. Sat there, he thought he was going to be talking to one or two people, ended up being an entire boardroom of like 30 people. So, one of those really big, impressive boardrooms. And when they asked him for a proposal, he turned around, scribbled stuff on a piece of paper, and handed it over, and they laughed at him. He did not do any research on the company. He did afterwards. It was Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company.
I'm guessing he didn't get the contract.
He had an hour and he wasted it.
Wow. I don't know. Yeah, there's lots of ways to get people's attention that intentionally. Morgan Fairchild used to have she did her acting headshot on like a pink or a red piece of paper. And so people would always remember her because her stuff was on colored paper.
Nice.
So anyway. So the other elevator pitch is the one that I teach more often than on the elevator.
Okay.
And as you mentioned, that's the one that you do in a formal environment like a BNI or your Chamber of Commerce, where you get up and very often you get the bell if you go over 30 seconds. And your mission there, you have three things you want to accomplish with that 30-second commercial. You want to get a referral today. And so I teach that you only ask for one thing per commercial. The second thing you want to get is a referral, one thing per 30 seconds. The second thing you want to get is a referral later. So you're going to tell a story that people will remember.
Okay.
And then the third thing is a one-on-one meeting. So where somebody in the room will be interested enough in what you've said that they want to talk to you about how you can partner with them to share clients with each other.
Now, and as I mentioned kind of when I was introducing you, Jeff Weaver, we interviewed, he was discussing modern barter. He'll actually be on Thursday. He said he's been using yours for several years now and that's his entire business has been built off of that.
Right. What happened with Jeff's story is that he made the mistake that a lot of people do.
I'm going to have to cut that. Is it slight?
Okay.
All right. Sorry to interrupt you. Let me start over that part again.
No, that's okay.
So we are hearing from Jeff Weaver, who is from ITEX, North Texas. And he said he's built his entire business pretty much around only your 30-second networking technique, because he doesn't do really any other networking. That's it. Or I'm sorry, any other advertising.
Right. Well, he does. He's got a LinkedIn campaign and some other stuff. So I don't want to take full credit for his success, but Jeff was making the mistake before we met that a lot of people make with networking, and they think that 30-second spot is for them to educate us all about their business. And 30 seconds is not enough time to educate us about anything. So, I mean, it's just, there's a whole long list of reasons why to not try to educate people in 30 seconds. The primary one being, we don't care yet. We don't know you yet enough to care about your business. So, but you want to, in 30 seconds, you want to tell us who you want to meet and why you want to meet them. So by asking for a specific business owner or business job title or something like that, then people know who Jeff wants to meet, so they're giving him referrals when he's doing the commercial, which, again, as we said earlier, is the number one goal when we do that commercial, is to get a referral today. So he actually says, today I'm looking to meet a carpenter, or today I'm looking to meet a hairdresser, or whatever, and then people go, oh, well, I know a hairdresser I can introduce you to. And it's as simple as actually asking for what you want. But
novel idea, right?
Yeah, exactly. So people want to make that a lot more complicated than it has to be.
And we do that a lot in marketing. I have clients who want to market to everyone, and I'm like, you can't do that. It's like being the jack of all trades. Eric Swanson was just saying, jack of all trades is worthless. Be really good at something. And this is the same thing with marketing. Ask for the one thing. You can't speak to everyone. But like you said, you need a carpenter. I need to add a carpenter, and now he does modern barter. So modern barter. I feel like I should do that 3 times fast. If he has a client out there who'd like to spend their iTex dollars on a carpenter, but he doesn't have a carpenter, just ask for one instead of saying, hey, would you like to sign up for modern barter?
Right. Yeah.
Here's
instead of saying, hey,
I've got bring him business.
Yeah, I have business for you now. All you have to do is sign up to get it. And I do offer, since Jeff will be on later, I do offer all of my training on iTex dollars. So I'm a member of the iTex network.
So I just got, we're pre-interviewing these, and I just got my link. We're going to be offering some of our stuff there too, for both Business Growth Network and then me on the agency side. So he was, he could not possibly say enough good things about you. We'll have to let you clip that and use it as a testimonial.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's wonderful when you have real testimonials.
And you don't have to, I'd like to think they're all real, but I know better.
Well, it's not that they're not real. It's just that they're not as authentic as they could be sometimes, just because people are they're saying lovely things about their friend instead of saying, my friend got me business because of what he does.
I would like to say that a lot of my clients are my friends because I've gotten them lots of business.
Yeah, when you work with somebody for a while, you become friends. And when you do a good job, you work with people for a while. So
it's funny how that works. So with networking, so I will put this out there, going to these like BNI style meetup networking, even RPN groups, it is almost the sole reason Business Growth Network exists, because I would go into these meetings and they are so vapid. People walk in, they talk about themselves for 30 seconds. They don't care about anything else. Every conversation from the point they walk in to the point they leave, they only want your business. They don't care about getting to know you, especially like you can tell the ones that just come in and rotate really quick. Yeah. And they're like, buy me, buy me, buy me. And they even get the one-on-one and they're like, buy me, buy me, buy me. And I'm like, I know like 50 realtors and my house is not up for sale and I don't know anyone else's who is. And why would I pick you instead of the other 49 I already know? And it's just so much, and no one actually cares about anyone else in the room. And I was like, I've had enough. I can't.
I'm so glad you brought up realtors, because I'm serious, because I'm going to be, I mean, I've been teaching realtors along with everybody else since 2004, but I'm going to be teaching even more realtors in 2018, because I'm getting continuing education certified for Texas realtors.
Okay.
So, yeah. So
I have an event on the 9th. You'll have to come join me. It'll be a room full of realtors.
Excellent. I've got I'm already speaking to 2 groups of realtors in January, so it's gonna be a big part of my year. So here's the deal. We all have heard the realtors get up and say, I'm looking to meet anybody who wants to buy or sell a house. And what a colossal waste of time that is, saying that. So if the realtor adapts my strategy, they will sell more houses and get more buyers. And it's as simple as this. Instead of getting up and asking for customers, what they should be doing is getting up at networking events and asking for partners. They should be asking to meet all those people that know about a house going up for sale before anybody else. Wedding planner, contractors, carpet cleaners, maid services, even landscapers, some of the hairdressers, massage therapists, people like that, even obstetricians, OBGYNs. As people have another kid, they have to get a bigger house.
So here's a good tip for specifically for your realtors. And this was something a realtor did for us, and I would not consider her a good realtor at all. I think she did something that somebody else told her to do. We moved into a $300,000 home in Uptown. And when she finished the closing, so when you're talking about building partnerships, she handed us this folder and this beautiful gift basket. And inside this folder were all these offers from people you might need after you buy a house. As soon as you buy a house,
sure.
The government actually loves when people buy homes, because it builds all the entire economy. You just go out buying everything, right? So, simply as something as saying, I'm looking for partners so I can put opportunities in this folder. Those are the same people. Because a lot of people, they want to clean the carpets, or they want to refinish the floors. I was just talking to Brian McNabb. I don't know if he does flooring. It's one of the first things that people want to do, because they want new flooring before they move in. So that's
they also put in new flooring before they put it up for sale.
They do that too. Yep. So that's a great opportunity, and you don't even have to ask for the referral. Like I said, I'd like to market you. If you know anybody who'd like to be marketed and offer, something that goes both ways.
Yep. So by telling people who they want to meet, we still know they're a realtor. And when we have an opportunity to make an introduction that we understand what that is, we can do it when that one time in 2 years that somebody tells you they're looking to buy a house before they have a realtor. Right? So they're building their business and building their pipeline and building their funnel by meeting the other influencers that they need to have on their team anyway, instead of every week asking to meet somebody who wants to buy or sell a house.
I agree. So
the other one that makes the same general mistake is some of the beauty reps, where they ask to meet anybody with skin. And it's, you laugh, but it's just not true. For example, I am not a prospect for one of those people.
Mary Kay is not your jam?
No, so in the past I've been given some of their men's cologne from Mary Kay, and it's okay, but I'm not a prospect for a lot of reasons. I had a friend who was a Nerium rep, and she was just kept getting annoyed with me because I wouldn't try her product. And I got good genes, you know. I mean, I'm I'm a lot older than I look, and it's just not something that's on my radar of having skin care as part of my daily regimen of whatever else I'm doing every day. Uh, but the truth is, nobody, as you said, nobody is everybody is not anybody's customer. Well, that's pretty good. Everybody is not anybody's customer. I like that. What I do say is that I want my customers to be somebody, not anybody.
When we do, so after this, so the first week of January, we're doing Business Growth Summit. The second week, we're doing the Vision Challenge, which is also free. We just want people to map out what December 31st of 2018 will look like if anything were possible, given everything they've seen is possible on the summit, that they've seen in other places. What's possible, right? And then we do that. Let's architect it, right? Let's sit in a room and we have a business growth workshop, and let's map out exactly how we're going to get there, because there is a path. And one of those is we build a client avatar, client persona, whatever you want to call it. We give it a name. It is Jeff the entrepreneur or Jeff the speaker. And I don't want vague demographics. He's between age 33 and 53 and lives in the DFW area. I'm like, no, Jeff is 33 years old. He's got 3 kids, a wife, a mortgage, 2 dogs, a goldfish. He
belongs to the Dallas Museum and the Dallas Zoo.
I want to know exactly. In fact, I don't want you to know. I want you to get on the phone, offer Jeff $25 or offer to take him to lunch. And I want you to answer the questions that I have for him. I don't want you to guess his objections to the sell. I want you to call Jeff and ask him, what are your objections to sell? What are your hangups? What are your real goals? Not just your goals with me, but your goals in life. I talked to one of our clients wanted a fleet manager, was his specific avatar. And so I found a fleet manager that had 250 cars. You know what he doesn't care about? Cars. He doesn't give a car. He doesn't give 2 garbage bits about anything on there. You know what he cares about? California, his county went bankrupt and he lost his pension as a police officer. And he was down just to his military pension. And he just needed a job to get him through retirement. That's what he cared about, retiring. Doesn't care 2 bits about the fleet. So when you're talking to him, you have to understand. Doesn't care about the fleet, doesn't care about what you sell, but if you can tell him you can get 1 step closer to retirement, bingo.
That opens up lots of conversations.
But that's what they care about. So don't just think about, don't just say you market to this group. I want you to peg who is your guy or girl.
Well, and that's why one of the reasons I encourage people to ask for specific referral partners, not customers, is because all your referral partners have a job title. So your request is for a job title. It's not anybody in healthcare. It's a job. It's somebody. I'm looking for your friend who works at a doctor's office. You know, I'm looking for a fleet manager. That's a job title where you either know them or you don't. And then next week you ask for a different job title, and the week after that you ask for a different job title, and then you circle back around when because people change coming to those groups, and people meet new people. And those are the people that you now interview that person and discover whether or not they can be a good referral partner. And if they are, you're going to get to do business with some of their customers. And they're going to get to do business with some of your customers. So you're asking to meet somebody to build your business on, not to sell one thing to.
And this, for anybody listening, this is not even just for networking. I just got done at the Digital Agency Growth Summit, and I'm hoping to have Marcus Murphy on here as well. See if I can schedule him. He just had a newborn. So scheduling is a little hard. But he did the same thing, said the exact same thing for LinkedIn networking. Same thing. Stop looking for customers and start looking for partners.
Yep. That's the way to grow your business. That's the way to win at the game of networking.
So I'm trying to keep track here. If you are doing networking,
Sure.
rule number 1, go in looking for specific partners.
Well, rule number 1 is go in ready, looking to give referrals.
Give referrals. That would be rule number 1.
Give referrals is rule 1. Yeah. Yeah, because there's only 2 reasons we network, Jenna. 1 is to get more business, and number 2 is to help other people get more business. Everything else, yeah, there you go. Everything else is part of the process. And yeah, I get a lot of referrals when I talk about, are you having, are your clients having fun and making friends and having a nice lunch but not coming away with any business? And they go, oh, that sounds familiar. So you got a room full of friends now, but none of them know who you want to meet. So they, even though they want to help you, you haven't told them how.
Yep.
Yeah.
So go in wanting to help people.
Yeah, going ready to help people, and knowing who you want to meet second to that as a partner.
So knowing who you want to meet is number 2. As a partner, though, specificity.
Right. Yeah. So work with Jenna to identify your target customer, and then create the referral partners based on who else is selling to that target customer.
What would number 3 be?
Have fun. Have fun, because too much of the time you pause. I don't know if
I paused
that was
for dramatic effect.
Yeah, I think the camera paused. It was like, but
no, that was me.
Let's not do anything if we're not having a good time.
We just I just interviewed Eric Swanson, and that was his. I mean, his talk is literally, he did a TEDx talk on it. I was a little shocked. How to insert awesomeness into your life. It was a daily dose of awesomeness. Just have fun. Go with the idea of meeting new people, not just to partner with or make money, but to grow your life. Like, I guess you're not going.
Well, and you were talking earlier about all those me networkers. That's what I call them. Tell them about me. Well, enough about me. Why don't tell me what you think about me? And they're the ones who think the one with the most business cards wins. That's just not the case.
I even stopped. We rebranded in March, and I still have not gotten business cards. And I think one of the reasons is subconsciously, I just don't want to hand them out to anybody.
Well, I only give cards to people who ask for them. I adopted that a few years ago.
Well, even when they ask for them, just sometimes I don't want to give them out to you. I don't want you to have my number, not even my office line.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Jenna. I have had conversations where somebody's asked for my card at the beginning of the conversation. I got that vibe that you're talking about, and I just had a conversation. I ignored their request. And once or twice they'll remind me of their request, and I'll have to give them a card before I leave. But very often we just get to talking, and I wind up not giving them my card.
I hate being mean. I just sometimes I don't want your phone call.
Well, it's not mean. It's a vibe. I mean, mean. Here's mean. I was at a networking event, and some of us were just standing around talking, and I couldn't even tell you now what the event was. But a woman walked up to us and handed, we were standing so people could walk up and talk to us, but she walked up and she handed me a postcard, and she says, "You need to know about this." And there were, 4 or 5 of us there, but I got the postcard. So I looked at it, and it was a men's foundation garment. That's girdle, for those of you who don't recognize. It was a men's girdle that she was selling. And I looked at her, I said, "Are you calling me fat?" And she didn't know what to do, because that's what she had just done. She just walked up to a group of professional business people and called one of them fat.
I don't think that would have gone over as well had she done it to a female. I know I would have been wispier.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't laugh until a little while later, just because I wanted to try to teach her a lesson. But I did tell her that's not how you market your business.
Goodness gracious.
But, yeah.
I've had
somebody told her that
was the way to do it. Shove it in their face.
Yeah. Somebody must have told her that.
I don't think some of these people, I don't think anyone seriously tells people to do that. I think that has to be, they don't know better. Like, surely.
Could be. But you remember, have you heard of the 5-foot rule that some direct sales people teach?
What is that?
That's when you're within 5 feet of somebody, you need to either ask them if they want to make more, if they're looking for an opportunity to make money, or they want to buy your product. So are you a customer or a partner?
Anybody within 5 feet?
Yeah. Can you imagine? Now, when I was in retail, the 5-foot rule was you better greet somebody who's within 5 feet of you. That made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody's within 5 feet of you, it just seems like the natural thing to do, to be like, "Hello, how are you? Can I ask you questions for you?"
Yeah, you're finding what you need. Yeah. But no, Kat, you want to make some more money, or you want to lose some weight, or whatever. Yeah.
Or I have had one come up to me like, you could really use a makeover. And I'm like, that's great. I've got a newborn,
well, thank you very
2
much.
other children. My hair's probably not been combed in a week. I've probably got some yogurt stains and urine stains. I really don't want to discuss it, but please tell me how my makeup while I'm out grocery shopping is not up to your standards. I'm like, thank you. Outstanding, because being a mom's not hard enough. Thank you for letting me know I'm failing at my totally on my priority list.
Funny. Yeah, right. Yeah, of course. And of course, they probably did it when you had the kids all around you, too.
Oh, yeah, I did. And you know what's horrible? So I had the smallest one literally strapped to my body, because that keeps her quiet and happy. And it gives me the ability at the time to run after the 3-year-old. And then I have I think at the time she was 15 years old. And so between those two, I'm taking care of the basket and the baby, and the other ones are just tossing stuff in the basket. And you're like, whoa, we don't need that. But it's all going in there. And then she's going to talk to me about her, and actually gave me a sample, because what I really needed was an eyeshadow sample.
Okay.
In a god-awful green.
Well, and that strategy had to have worked for her at least once, or she wouldn't have been doing it.
Well, and that same person was telling me, because she stopped and had a whole conversation as I'm trying to grocery stuff, and she's walking along with me. How she does it, she'll go stay at hotels and leave it behind for the maids, and the maids are her best recruiters now. And I'm like, you just go away. I don't care about your MO.
Yeah, would you go over to the, I need a half a pound of ground turkey. Would you go pick that up for me?
That would have been a better idea. I was not
put her to work.
That clear of the head at the time. But for these people, because they got that sales training direct from corporate. I've sat down, I have talked with the the chief marketing officer, the director of sales, and somebody else who's VP of
training and development or something
for
like
ID
that.
Life. And I'm just sitting there like listening to how they teach their people to sell, and you're just like, outstanding. You need help.
Yeah. Now, if we could just get them to teach what I'm teaching, how to get up and do a commercial where people listen to you, they respect you, they see you as somebody who wants to help other people in a real way with
well, what
their
was the
business.
example of this 30-second sales pitch? Like, what is your 30-second sales pitch?
Well, the beauty is you don't, I will do a commercial for you, but the beauty is you don't create just one. Mm-hmm. You create a deck, like a deck of cards of commercials. And some of them you can actually interchange what your request is mm-hmm. on the commercial. So, a good one for me is, yes, you could start timing me, but that's okay. So, sales managers have meetings, whether it's weekly or monthly, with their sales teams. And eventually that sales manager just sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. And that's all that the salespeople are hearing. Outside trainers come in, and even if they're giving the same or similar information, the salespeople will hear the information, retain the information, and use that information if it comes from an outside expert. I'm that expert, and I work with a team of people that can come in and teach a sales staff how to network better, how to sell better, how to make more money, how to be leaders, and how to be a better profit center for the company. The introduction I'm looking for this week is sales managers, so we can talk about bringing in some trainers to get over Charlie Brown's teacher syndrome. My name is Jeff Klien with Speaker Co-op. Please write the name of a sales manager you know on your business card and pass it to me.
Now, when you say that last bit, write the name on the back of a card, do you find people actually write the name of someone on the back of the card and give it to you?
They do. I also find lots of people borrow that request, that call to action, and use it in their commercials.
I have heard it several times.
Yeah, sometimes when you've heard it, they've actually learned it, taken my class, but sometimes they've just adopted the call to action. And I will tell you, the call to action that I learned from Kendall Lee Pernin, who's a great coach with Mark Kamen and Associates, back when we were both involved with CEO Space, when she was our state director. But I want to, giving credit where credit is due. Oh,
there's been a lot of credit when, as I've been filming these are, I don't know, you're like number 20. I've been very impressed. None of the speakers, they may not have known where something came from. And so they'll say like, I don't remember where I got it from. But a lot of them do remember where they got different things from. And they've been very good about giving credit. And that was something I heard a speaker reference was, go ahead and give credit. It's not taking away from you. It's actually building your own business. Give credit, build those partnerships up.
Yeah. Well, and there's a certain integrity there. I work with speakers a lot, and I was doing some video interviews, and one of the questions I get given them in advance was, tell us one of your favorite quotes and why. A couple of speakers quoted themselves. They didn't gain any credibility quoting themselves.
That's an interesting.
Well, yeah, my favorite quote is that I said, blah, blah, blah. Like, how about Zig Ziglar said, and you were inspired by?
I do wish sometimes when people quote people that they would think a little outside of the box. Like Zig Ziglar, I've gotten a lot. Napoleon Hill, I've gotten a lot over the last several, not that he penned the quote by any stretch of the imagination. Mike Archie, just saw him speak, and it was get shit done. It was a nice little reminder, throw back to the military, just get shit done. It was like, all right. And it was so funny. One of our clients is Fiverr. They actually have little stickers that say it.
Oh, I like that. Nice. Very cool.
I was like, well, that's
now it looks green. Was that green?
That one is
green.
It
looks green. Okay.
Because that's Fiverr.
But that's for color. Christmas.
They also have it in black and white.
Got it. Well, I thought that one was the emoji as well, was the poop emoji, the green one.
That was the poop emoji. Except in green. And then their other one is because they've branded.
Nice.
But Mike Archie was saying that he actually he takes his quote to the extreme. Every single one of his shirts say GSD. Every one of his employees wear a shirt that says G. That has nothing to do with the name of his agency or the name of his coaching.
Right.
But they all wear that, and then what does everyone do? What's GSD stand for?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Get stuff done. Yeah.
Get stuff done.
Yeah, it depends on your audience.
There's a little more. I know we rebranded.
I'm with you. I work with adults. Yeah, I work with adults, so it's okay to say get shit done.
I tried to be really nice, and then we took a look at our own self, and I had gotten 2 negative reviews back in like January, February, and I got called a privileged navel gazer for saying make Facebook fun again. I said make Facebook fun again. I got 2 bad reviews for that because I was a privileged navel gazer. And so I was like, you know what, something is not correlating here. So we rebranded it to Warfare Marketing. And now if you want to be a unemployed hippie and tell me that saying let's have some fun, as you said, is a bad idea, screw it.
Then they'll work with somebody else. Yeah.
You can't market to everyone, and they're not mine. I don't think they were employed.
That's something people have trouble accepting sometimes. Not everybody. And we're back full circle, right? Not everybody's your customer. Thank God. I've worked with, there's people I don't want to work with.
Well, the other thing is, actually, Mike Archie, this was one of his big things for agencies. Agencies actually have a horrible track record for this. So, like, I'll help anyone market. Or they might narrow it down to I'll help anybody, like we're active campaign certified consultants. I'll help anybody in active campaign. Well, that doesn't make sense because the needs for an e-commerce business are completely different from a speaker or coach, are completely different from an HVAC. So you're either going to be doing an exceptional amount of work learning each one of these niches. It's not possible. One of the things he said was like, nope, we chose health and fitness only. And we even narrowed it down even more. We only want more female type fitness places like Pilates or kickboxing. And we want ones that have the potential to franchise. So if we get one client, we can get multiple locations. And we're going to completely productize it. We're only going to offer these 3 critical things that will move their business forward the most. The thing that does for him is now he can go get help in his business. When you narrow it down, like never be afraid to niche down, he can go get someone out of India or the Philippines or something to scrape list of every single company in Texas that does that, because that's a doable list. We had Sloan Snow Day on, he just did that. He pulled 6,000 people who are in Southern California who have a wellness center. You can do that, and now your account managers only have to call them, and they already know all the problems that those people have. Like niching, and that was one of Mike Archie's big thing is niching. McDonald's makes more in revenue every year than Bob's Steakhouse in Dallas. So depending on your goals, do you want to be the best steakhouse in the United States? Which, by the way, that's why I went to Bob's. When I was in stationed out in South Carolina, Maxim magazine listed them as the best steak in the United States. That's quite a title for a Texas girl.
Well, and you're not part of their demographic.
Oh, oh my gosh, their steak and their carrot. Oh, I'd eat that every day. But McDonald's makes significant.
No, I meant Maxim magazine.
Oh, yeah. No, why was I on there? For the
It's great. I mean, I like their irreverence, but I haven't read one. I had subscriptions the first couple of years they were publishing.
You know what? Anyway. I know exactly why I did it now. I was a reader of Cosmo. I wanted to see, so I asked somebody, what is the male equivalent? And they said Maxim magazine. And so I got them, and I was curious, what is the female narrative versus the male narrative? Random things. But McDonald's makes more in revenue every year compared to Bob's. Bob's
Sure.
tastes better. I think everyone would agree, hands down. I don't even care if you like Perry's or Nick and Sam's better. Everyone would agree, hands down, Bob's Steak and Shop House beats McDonald's. That's an
Sure.
easy assumption. McDonald's kills it in revenue.
Well, their audience is bigger.
But they chose a specific audience too.
Right, absolutely. Bob's chose to reach out to an audience that wasn't as big as McDonald's audience.
But you can do that too. You can kill it in one audience. You don't have to worry about that you didn't get the finer things or that people don't talk about yours being the best. I go to McDonald's probably once every other week just because of the playground. Just because.
Well, and it helps that they have Wi-Fi and you can work there.
Right.
But they knew that when they added Wi-Fi to all the McDonald's.
They did. And they added Play Center. That's get all of the moms in. And they added Wi-Fi. You get the people who now would like to be on their cell phone or watch movies, or the people, people were sitting at Starbucks working. They're like, why can't you come over here? We'll sell you the same coffee for a third of the price and we'll have Wi-Fi.
Yep. And your kids can stay busy.
Oh, yeah.
Out of your hair. I've had lots of business meetings at McDonald's with my friends who are single moms.
Oh,
the clients who are single moms.
There were times I had to do that. So God bless you.
I don't know why anybody would be bothered by it. Made a lot of sense to me.
I think everyone in business has their own idea what business looks like, and not all of them are flexible. So if you've been a guy and you've always worked in the corporate environment, your wife you've been single, or your wife always has the kids, you don't know what it's like to be like, hey, I can meet with you on Saturday with the kids, or I can not meet with you at all. Pick one.
Yeah.
So being that flexible. So kind of back to networking, you have, going in there wanting to help people, always a good benefit. Going in there with specificity and asking for partners. I'm going to time lapse on the third one. What was the third one?
Have fun.
Oh yeah, have fun. What has been the most winning strategy for you above and beyond that?
Being a hub, being that person who is a center of influence and has the most connections. Because then everybody's coming to me to find out if I know a guy. And the guy's the guy's not always a guy. Sometimes the guy's a gal. But for, whatever you can name, I got a guy. And if I don't got a guy, I know the person who has the guy. So the benefit is being a hub and being somebody that other people seek out to help them with whatever it is they're doing.
I like that one. That can be hard. That one takes time.
Well, it's really the only hard part is getting over yourself. Because you can't be a hub if you're only about you.
It can't be the me show, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It can't be Jeffapalooza. It has to be
Jeffapalooza.
It has to be about other people in order to work.
How do you find that works out best? I know when Scott Schilling, he actually came to do the Friday BGNI talk, and his was whenever he met somebody, he would say, whatever you need, just ask me. Not whatever you need as it pertains to business, but whatever you need, period. And he had this hilarious, and he had a great delivery, just like a comic would, about a guy who was like, I could use some tickets to the, Miley Cyrus show or Taylor Swift or whoever, giggly girl. And they went back and forth, and of course the show was sold out, but he was able to locate some tickets, and it turned out they were over $1,000 a piece because they were front row or something. And the guy bought them. And it turned out he owned this big company that was doing $1 billion in revenue, and now he's got a client. The guy, he was a hub for tickets completely outside of his business, but you hooked
Sure.
him up. You made a little girl extremely happy, I'm sure, and got some bonus points. So in that regard, it's not business, but kind of like back to the fleet manager, you've now gotten what they really want.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, again, Scott, it wound up getting Scott business, but he didn't do it initially to get a client. He did it to be a good guy. Because he knew somebody who knew somebody. Yeah.
And I mean,
that
even
guy's never
you
going to forget Scott.
Here.
Yeah, sure.
To partner with here and be a node. And we've been able to even connect some of the the speakers here at the summit already and share audiences. And if you're not okay, if it's a me show, you're not going to do that. Or you can participate. I actually, I did have one person drop out of the summit who was a marketer. I stepped outside of myself. I was like, I'm happy to bring other marketers in. It doesn't need to be the me show. People should see other types of marketing out there. But when he saw that I was participating, he was like, he backed out. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Short-sighted. I mean, we haven't talked about Speaker Co-op at all. We should do a 30 seconds on Speaker Co-op, but that's an organization of people who speak, and I welcome people who compete with what I do. You can come teach the elevator pitch and be a member of Speaker Co-op, because it's bigger than me. It's not about being the only guy who teaches this one thing on a website. My vision is for Speaker Co-op to be an international organization, and it is because it's online. There's no borders to Speaker Co-op, and we're a home for people who want to be found as speakers for groups. Pretty simple. And so there is no exclusivity in Speaker Co-op. That's one of the very few rules we have.
No exclusivity.
There's no exclusivity. Yeah.
So I know you had was it a worksheet download that everyone could use to kind of put this stuff together for their next networking meeting?
Well, what I have on I have a free download section at my website.
Okay.
And one of the things that's featured there is my one-on-one checklist. And of course, it's backwards.
Oh no, it'll flip it for you.
It will, okay. So the one-on-one checklist is what you use when you're having that all-important networking one-on-one, where you're going to find out who that avatar is, who somebody wants to meet, and then you're going to find out who their two types of referral partners are. And
this is for the other person?
This is you take notes for you, and they take notes for them. If you're going to, ideally, you would each use the same form.
For them.
So I remember, right. So you and I would have a one-on-one, and I would make notes of all about Jenna and who Jenna wants to meet.
I like that. I always see worksheets that are the me show. They're about what I need to do. I like this one. You're writing stuff about down the other person so you don't forget.
Right. Exactly. And this table is your reason for having the one-on-one. It's not to find out where their kids went to college or how, whatever. It's to find out who they want to meet so you can give them referrals.
I like that. That could easily be put to an Excel spreadsheet as your list.
Right. Well, and I put it out as a Word document, edit it, and all I ask is that you leave my info at the bottom. So when you're using it, people can also access it. And that's at jeffs30seconds.com/education.
We'll put that link right here too.
Yeah. So there's just right across my forehead. There's some audio downloads there, and I rotate out what goes on that download section, but the checklist is always there. So it's a way to share your email address and get access to free stuff. And
so I've been, first of all, thank you so much for participating and partnering with us, Jeff.
You're welcome.
You've provided great value. And I actually kind of like, it was very succinct. It's basically 3 points, and we gave a little, stories along the way, but those 3 things, when you're building your vision next week and you're architecting it out, these are simple. These aren't things you have to go spend any money on. These aren't, you can print out the sheet. That's 2 sheets every time you have a one-on-one. But they're not expensive. These are not hard things. And when combined with things like having a great attitude, like with Eric, or combining, business with Jeff Weaver, using iText dollars, and some of these other methods, or being happy with Gretchen, these are all things that are free. I like that. It's free and it's simple. You don't need any fancy checklist for it. So I really appreciate all the value added there and its simplicity, because some of the greatest things that can build us up are simple. We just don't do them.
Right.
Right. And in offering all that value, you never actually told us about Speaker Co-op. So why don't you tell me more about what that is and how we can help you?
Okay. Well, I teach a series of, before Speaker Co-op, I teach a series of boot camps about networking. So I have a 2-hour introduction to networking, an intermediate class, and an advanced class. So that's something to look for more info about. And then for Speaker Co-op, we teach business people how to get clients when they speak. A lot of people are able to get applause when they speak, and laughter, and even tears. And a lot of them have trouble getting customers. Well, I've spoken over 600 times, and I know how to get customers. and I want people to learn from my mistakes, because it's a lot less painful than learning from your own mistakes.
That's funny. Eric was just saying there's 2 types of people in the world, and only 2. There's people who can sell all day long, but not on stage. Oops. Is that yours or mine? I don't see it.
That's you.
My phone won't let me. It won't let me get it.
Take a message, okay? I'll call him back.
No. Oh, there it goes. Oddly enough, it's David. I'll give him a hard time later. I'll edit that out and go back. But yeah, he broke everything down into 2 people. You either can close all day long, but you're never on stage, or you're always on stage and you can't close to save your life. So learning, if you can learn how to do both, get in front of an audience and close them, that's game-changing in business. And you said you teach that in the workshop or Speaker Co-op?
I've actually created a system that I teach on how to get a customer from a 20-minute rotary talk.
Really? So just 20 minutes?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The class is 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
But
what kind of fees, like if you're doing, and that's one of the questions I get a lot from different clients, it's they feel like if you're selling something rather inexpensively, I don't know, from $5 to let's say $97, and you really start to push it at, $200 or $300, what's the most expensive fee you can demand or ask for at after a 20-minute?
Well, I mean, that's kind of like asking how much does a car cost? Because people ask for $5,000 fees after a 20-minute talk, and they get them. But it's all of the strategy. The strategy is more around how you address the audience throughout the 20 minutes, and what kind of paperwork you're using, and things like that. So my system applies to everybody who speaks, because it has nothing to do with content. It has to do with how you deliver the content.
Okay.
So I've spoken 600 times at least, and I've gotten a speaker fee maybe 25 times, but I've been paid like 550 times of the 600 I've made revenue.
That's off selling.
Correct. And nobody's ever complained that I was too salesy.
Well, that's nice because I know, and I think that's relative to your audience a little bit. We were listening to Ryan speak at the Digital Agency Growth Summit. I thought the conversation was, very not hardcore sales whatsoever. I feel like if you're going to one of his events, you just know you're going to be pitched something. It's like an expectation, right? But it wasn't a hard sell. The 1 hour, that was all information. It was just the pitch right at the end. But we talked to some of our friends in Canada, our Canadian friends that were down, and they were like, that's such a hard pitch. And all the Americans are like, what?
That's a whole other conversation, Jenna. Yeah. I've seen hard pitches but and I'm working on the 9 Laws to Business Speaking Success book, and law number 1 is give value.
I like that one. Like, good title.
Yeah.
I think it's one of my favorite books that I felt was life-changing were the 48 Laws of Power. So it kind of like goes along with kind of titling. Yeah. It's specific, exactly how many. And if you don't have enough time to read it or you're rereading it after the fact, you can just skim.
Yeah, you skip around.
What was that one? Mm-hmm. Number 3, that one. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but it's a little bit like the networking attitude. You're there to give value and give your best value. I'm not sure who you've had talk about speaking itself, but give your best stuff. Yeah, give your best stuff and stop being afraid somebody's going to abscond with it, because it just doesn't happen.
Good word. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. And if anybody has questions for Jeff, hop on over to the Vision Challenge Engagement Group on Facebook, where you can ask him questions directly. And of course, if you have any questions more about his Speaker Co-op or his free downloads, downloads are up here, and information on Speaker Co-op as well. And don't be afraid to ask questions over in that group. That's what it's for, so that we can build out a great vision challenge in what's possible in 2018. So thank you, Jeff, for being that resource. This has been wonderful information. And there is no one on this call whatsoever, I don't care if you're a salesperson, a CEO, small business, big business, it all applies.
Thank you. You're welcome. And thanks for having me as part of the program. And I'm looking forward to putting some stuff up for folks who join.
All right.
And I'll offer a free webinar for everybody who joins.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jeff. Bye.
Bye-bye.